We're heading down. That was a beehive, hornet's nest. That was a hornet's nest. We'll go down here and show you guys some of these rocks and waterfalls and such. I'm in the Carter Caves area in Kentucky. So we're coming up on some steep banks. It's really pretty. I see something. Where is it? It's hard to find stuff in the camera. Dang it. There's something in that tree. It's so hard to film animals in the wild. I don't even, yeah, you see that little black dot? I'll circle it. That's a bird. I'm zoomed in 12 times. That's a bird's arm or shoulder blade or something. I think it's a vulture. I was actually going down there. I was wanting to get some video of him. Hang on. I think he's gone. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to film. I'm telling you, it's so hard to film animals in the wild. To get them in frame of your camera is tough. I mean, it's really tough. And then if you're not closer, if you're farther away than, I don't know, 50 yards away, you gotta zoom in. And on mine, the zoom is graining, so you don't even get that good a photo or video. I think it's gone. I don't know. I think it's gone. I don't know. We'll see. I'll give you some of this landscape. Look how pretty it is. Isn't that nice? It's very steep hills here. You can't tell on camera, but these are 45 degrees at least. Like I said, Carter Caves, Kentucky. There's a nice waterfall down here. Very nice. So this is nice. Here's limestone and sandstone here in Kentucky. In this place, a lot of flint, chert. This is very dangerous. You know, a guy gets down here, he's playing over here. Kind of look. I stay out of that stuff. I cross it, but I would cross up there. It's very slick. You can slip. If you start slipping on that, that's it. That's the waterfall right there. Kind of like a big slide, you know. You start slipping on that, you'll be gone. That's a long way too. That's probably 60 or 70 feet. Really nice river running through here, through the woods. It's nice to have a wooded area with a river, you know, no homes, no fields. This creek got up the other day and it got up pretty high. But oh yeah, I was supposed to show you the waterfalls, but I forgot what I was doing. So hang on just a second. It's getting late. It's really dangerous. I don't want nobody to think I'm crazy or nothing. But That's it. Oh my gosh. Let me get this another foot closer. 1 foot closer. There's more down that way. At one time there was, people standing here, no doubt. If I'm standing here on the corner of this cliff, then a Native American probably stood here on the corner of this cliff at one time. Or a, pioneer, or whoever was here before the Native Americans, because it's just neat. People want to see how cool this stuff looks, so they go check it out. So I'm probably not the first person to step here. And actually, hang on, up on top of that rock right there, I found a sitting spot where stones had been moved, where you could sit down. So I imagine that was probably a lookout point, in the old days, pre-Columbus days, or even up in the 1800s, 1500s. Indians probably sat on that, because the routes, it's hard to walk anywhere but beside a river. You can walk beside a river easier than you can walk around the hillside. And coming up through here, you can't walk anywhere but down there because of the cliffs. You can't get out. So they set up there and they'd watch for people to come up and down the rivers. They had lookouts, no doubt. Probably not all the time, because the Native Americans didn't live here all the time. They passed through back and forth. They didn't set up camp and live here year round in a certain spot. A really cool thing to think about is these points that I found. I found a lot of points, Indian artifacts and stuff, arrowheads. I call them arrowheads. I guarantee you, somewhere on this hillside, between here and over there, there's an Indian point buried 6 inches in the ground or deeper. Somewhere. I mean, just because they hunted so much in here, that you would have these Native Americans hunting all over, and when they spear something, they lose their points a lot of times, or they're running after game. You imagine standing up on this cliff and waiting for a deer to pass under you. You shoot straight down into the dirt. You're going to try to find your point, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes it breaks, sometimes it messes up. So there's points around. Nobody will ever find them, but there is artifacts around under the dirt everywhere. Kind of places right here where possums come out, or skunks get you. Really pretty, really beautiful. We're lucky to have places like this on this earth that hasn't been obstructed by people or polluted. I'll talk about something here real quick. The CDC is gaining power on the pandemic stuff. The CDC, I know that Joe Biden is in the process of making the CDC, Center for Disease Control, giving them more power for pandemics. When pandemics occur, they have ultimate power to enforce laws that are, how the last laws, a lot of places got enforced, a lot of places didn't. Now where I live at, we're free, pretty free here, free to do what you want when you want, and we're lucky for that. And Kentucky is a very good sanctuary state. They don't, even though our governor is a Democrat and he votes and persuades in ways that I wouldn't, at least we are free to choose our own futures, with no enforcement or heavy-handedness on us. But Joe Biden, for the next pandemic, is trying to give complete control to the CDC for them to be able to punish people if they don't get the Band-Aid, when they need it. Like if you get the cut and everybody gets a scrape, and everybody needs a Band-Aid, you know, and some people wants to get the band-aids, and that's fine. But some people can heal up without a band-aid. You know, you just put a little alcohol on it, a little bit of peroxide, and home remedies, and your scrape heals up just fine. So if he does that, then the president itself, I don't even know if the Supreme Court could overrule the CDC's rulemaking in an emergency pandemic, and they're going to have the power to rule an emergency without the voice of the people. So it's not a good idea, guys. It doesn't matter what you believe. It's not a good idea to take away your own power, the people's power. It's not a good idea to take away power from the people, no matter what country you live in, and give it to someone else. The people need all the power that they can keep, that they can get. In America, in the United States, you're supposed to have full power to fire and hire your leaders as you see fit. That's the way it should be, and hopefully we're going to get back to that just as quick as possible. I'm going to cut in another video that I did last night, and put it on the end of this video. I'm going to sit down here. If I see anything neat or interesting, you know, I'll put it on here, and I'll let you see it.